Hello and welcome to another episode of the Chai Tea Podcast. I'm Arcena and joining me as always is my co-host Sam, also known as Timetofeelalive.
Hello, how are we doing today, Arcena?
Yeah, we're doing pretty alright. Another week of Pocket, another week of Ranked. Our collections are also doing a lot better.
Yeah, I think we're both at the point where we've completed the latest set, Secluded Springs. Is that right?
Yes, I was lucky enough to get a Jump Left EX a couple of days ago, and now I'm just chasing the immersives from the packs that I was missing.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. It was one of those where I opened a pack like in the morning, and I was thinking to myself before I got it, I was like, there is no chance that I'm actually going to get the Raikou EX that I need to finish this set from a pack. It's just not going to happen. And lo and behold, the pack that where just before I thought that was the one where I get the Raikou. So I was pretty happy. Done Secluded Springs. I think that was like last, like maybe Friday, Thursday, something like that. So I've just been opening Ho-Oh packs, trying to get the Ho-Oh immersive and a couple other cards that I'm missing from it. Still got like a 2 diamond and a 3 diamond I'm missing from that set, and a 1 star, and then a bunch of other duplicate 3 diamonds that I need. So I'm sort of holding off on trading for those until I've got the Ho-Oh immersive, or I've run out of other things to trade. So yeah, my collection is looking pretty nice.
Yeah, for me, it was it was pretty much the opposite of what you felt because I think after Sneak Peek ended, I only had Jump Bluff EX remaining, and it was kind of annoying me that I was like, yeah, I'm definitely not gonna be able to pull the EX card from just the pack. So I started alternating, and I think it was my morning pack, and I was like, you know what? It's a morning pack. I'm not really gonna get anything. Let's get it done with. So I opened the pack and just because when I don't open them on stream, I don't really look at the cards. I just scroll through and then just wait for the new, or in my case, not new cards to appear. And I was like, whoa, Jump Left EX. That's cool.
Yeah. Beautiful. I mean, that's what you want to see from your morning pack, isn't it? A great start to the day. I think actually, yeah. No, that was how I've just remembered the day that I got my Roku. It was Saturday because I literally thought to myself, oh, what a great start to the weekend. So yeah, since then, just been opening Ho-Ohs and trying to get the immersive, but having no luck with it, unfortunately. So yeah, I've got to get that Ho-Oh immersive, got to get the Arceus immersive, and then 2 from GA, and I'm good in terms of immersive collections. Um, I don't know what else you needed to get in terms of the immersives. I mean, we've touched on this quite a lot, but you know, might as well go over it again. Why not?
Yeah, so for me, it's just currently just between Lugia and Suicune Immersive. And I have Mewtwo Immersive to get, but I'm in the same boat as you where I have enough points to pack the Mewtwo Immersive. But in that case, I'm looking for to pack the not pack point, but pack point the Rainbow Moltres, so I can have that Zap Kuno emblem that they give out.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
that's cool.
so that's why I'm not really like. Yes, I have the pack points to get the Mewtwo Immersive, but I think I much rather use it on that Rainbow Moltres than the Mewtwo Immersive because I'll still open the Mewtwo packs anyways.
True. I think I'm in a similar boat actually because I as I said previously, I do have enough points to pack either a immersive Mewtwo or Charizard, but I think I have 2 of the birds. Now that you've said it, like I've got that stuck in my head that I've got 2 of the rainbow art birds. I've got rainbow art Zapdos. Oh no, I've got 2 diamond or 2 star Articuno. Damn. Okay, so yeah, maybe I will just use it on the immersive because I'm nowhere close to getting that emblem.
I mean, if Zapdos is the only one you got, what is the only immersive that you have?
The only immersive I have is 2 Pikachus from that set.
Exactly, Zapdos is in Pikachu packs. You could just open the other two, no problem, and get
Yeah,
those
well, no,
immersives.
my plan is I think it's to open Charizard to try and get like so that means I have the highest chance of getting something cool like a Rainbow Arena, which is obviously still usable. Um, a Rainbow Art. I want to say Moltres is in Charizard, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, I reckon. Yeah.
Um,
Did you say
it
Rainbow
seems
Art
right.
Sabrina? Is that what you said?
Two diamond, 2 star Sabrina.
No,
Bloody
no.
hell, I'm
I
getting
just
them
want to
all
make
mixed
sure
up.
I heard which trainer it was. You cut off for a bit.
Yeah. Sabrina.
Yeah.
Because that is the most usable trainer probably from that set. Maybe Giovanni is still kind of usable, but
Giovanni is
Sabrina is
niche.
obviously...
Sabrina's probably a requirement in a certain kind of deck build, you know?
Yeah, but then Sabrina kind of isn't really that good in today's meta because you're most likely going to use a repel over Sabrina, so swings and roundabouts. But yeah, so obviously our collections are going really well. But the problem with that is it kind of makes me a little bit like more jaded with playing Pocket because I'm like, well, I've done the collection, I've made it to Master Ball. Now it's literally just open the app, play, open my daily packs, do any like Wonder Pick mission things that they've got going on, or Wonder Pick events, or any events that's going on in general, and then I don't really need to play anymore. Like I do want to get to the 1675 point threshold so that I can go straight into UB4 next season of ranked. But other than that, yeah, I don't really have much to do in Pocket other than opening the dailies and doing the daily missions and things.
I mean, that's a lot of fun, right? After I got my jump left, my first Lugia pack gave me, I think I sent it to you. I got a new 3 diamond and a baby Pokemon, so that's like a rare pack that technically, if I was still opening it, we would have enjoyed it. And then this morning, or a couple of days ago, I got a Wobbuffet 1 star. So the Lugia packs have been quite nice to me. And I got a Rainbow Lantern EX today, so I am getting the hits. Just don't care for them.
Not quite the hits you're hoping for. But yeah, no, I guess it is kind of nice, like to be able to take a little bit of a back seat with the game because I went hard last season playing ranked. So this season, like not having to stress too hard about playing consistently to try and push for the top 10K and whatnot is a bit nicer. I feel like it allows you to appreciate the game a bit more when you don't play it and when you just open the packs and just be. But I don't know. This is something we might touch on later, but I just wish there was a bit more like single player content and more, just a bit more content to the game.
I mean, yeah, but I guess that's also it's lining up with our. You know how we used to say we had the week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, right? This is technically our trailer week, so it's actually lining up with when you would feel the fatigue or a bit jaded or whatever is how you called it, right? It's lining up with when we actually feel it for other sets. But the only thing is, with other sets in the past, a trailer has been given to us by now, right? So
Yeah, and what Arcena means by trailer week is what, the 4th week of a set, I think.
yeah, it would be well, 3rd week of a set, 4th week in what we call our the cycle of our games, right?
Yeah, true.
Yeah, or 4th week. I don't remember, but yeah, whatever. It's the final week of a set when the trailer is dropped. Is what I mean by trailer week.
Yeah. So usually we would have a trailer this week, but we're probably going to get one next week, we assume, because we think that the set will come out on a Tuesday this month, on Tuesday the 30th.
Yes.
So probably there'll be a trailer maybe next Tuesday at the best, maybe Wednesday or Thursday. We're recording this at like 10:30 my time, and usually trailers come out at about 2 o'clock my time. So very slim chance that we actually do get a trailer today, but very unlikely. So yeah, we're expecting a trailer next week.
We are
but
expecting because the way I look at how sets have been releasing in the past, I've discussed this with Sam before, and for anyone listening, if you want to know yourself when a new set could be released, surprise, surprise, ranked is the key. If you go into your news, look at the ranked announcement for the month or for the season, and where they normally say ranked something period and then the ranked result announcement period is from a certain point to a certain point. They give you like a 1 month period when it's ranked results announcement. And the first day of the rank results announcement period is generally when a new set drops.
Yeah, exactly. So that's sort of what we're going off for our assumptions on trailer drops and new set drops and whatnot. But yeah, it's just kind of left us in limbo at the moment, I guess, with playing the game. Which is, again, I'm not mad about it. if there was more content to the game, I would be playing it more and I wouldn't be upset. But it's also quite nice to know that I don't have to play the game and I can just open my packs and do other things for a bit while I wait for the next set.
Yeah, which we're expecting to be the final mini set before either Megas or a set B.
Yeah, and maybe when set B comes out. Oh no, it will be Megas because Megas are coming out with set B, right? Like that's what they announced.
They didn't announce when Megas are coming out. It was Megas are coming out at the fall or the beginning of fall or something. We have just associated it to set B because it makes the most sense.
Ah, okay. So it's not like confirmed, but that's
No, it's not confirmed. So
think.
they could even give us Megas in the November set or the December set, but it just makes the most sense for the 1 year anniversary set to be set B, 3 new packs, and that to be the Megas. It just makes sense. Again, they could throw a curveball and not do any of that, but it's just what's likely. Unless I've missed something, I don't think they gave us a mega announcement exact date that it was coming with set B. It was just how Pokemon does the vague seasons release, like end of fall or start of fall or something. It was just the season release, if I remember it correctly.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, well, I'm gonna still continue with my assumption that Megas are coming out with set B. I think. Uh,
Imagine
but
there's no set B. Like
yeah,
that would be
everyone's just got it
crazy.
completely wrong.
Yeah.
Uh, I maybe even when set B comes out, that's when they'll add a little bit more like content to the game, some more solo things to do, or different things we can do with PvP. But for now, I guess we can talk about ranked for this season and how it's gone for us.
Yeah.
Both in Master Ball,
Yeah.
I think you're past the threshold you need to be
Yeah.
in
I
GB4
I
next season.
think I'm in 1800 something, close to 1850. I want to say. I saw the amount you played last season to get into top 10K, and I realized that I don't unless I got a crazy like a motivation or a deck that I really really like to play. I think I've resigned myself to the fact that I would never play the game enough to maintain top 10K because generally if I get into Master Ball day one, I'm in like the low 8,000s, and as long as I play maybe 3 hours a day, I can keep the 8,000 rank and get into top 10K. But then you miss a day and then you just fall out of the reach of top 10K. It's quite difficult to get back into it.
Yeah, you've got to be so consistent with it.
Yeah, so I've just resigned myself to the fact is I would never make top 10K unless I find a deck that I really enjoy because I just don't play every day. Like as much as I play it when I stream, right? You know this. I don't stream every day, and there's some days where I don't stream for the 3 hours. So like yes, I'm sure if I focus and I play skillfully, I can definitely get top 10K, but it still requires
Definitely, he says.
it's it still requires a lot of time put into the game that I am currently not investing into the game.
Yeah. Well, like I think that's it. The way that I did it was playing a deck that I enjoyed playing. It had to be. I think you got to use like one of the top meta decks, like one of the top few, unless you have time to just play consistently every day, like constantly. Then maybe you can use something that's like slightly outside of the meta, but it still needs to be a good deck to get there. Or Darktina, that'll just get you there no matter what if you keep playing.
I'm gonna interject there. Dark Tina at the hands of a Pokeball player will not get you wins.
Okay, well, Darktina in the hands of someone that's made it to Master Ball can probably get you to top 10K if you play enough games.
All right, cool. Because Dark Tina, as crazy as people are like, oh, Dark Tina is the number one. Yes, it's the number one deck, but somebody who does not know how to play or how the game works will not use it well because they may not charge their Giratina. They may click Broken Space Bellow instead of clicking an attack. I don't know who's done that before. They may play the wrong supporter cards. So yes, it will get you the wins, but you have to play it well.
Yeah, I actually this is the thing for me. I think I need to try playing Darktina because I actually don't think I'd be very good with it. which maybe is one of the reasons I hate it so much. I don't know. It does look a very complex deck to play. Like if you're good at playing it, you're going to get consistent wins, but you've got to put in the time to learn how to do that, right? So I think I am gonna have to do maybe even like for now to try and get to the top 1675 threshold, top just the 1675 threshold. I think I'm at 1500 right now, so 1500. Maybe I'll just try to use the rest of this ranked season with Dark Tina to get there, just to learn how to use it. Take a few showers every time I do, but you know,
I think
I've
you'll
got to
be.
try. I
I
think.
think you'll be fine. I would love to see you do that. You know, you should just do the next season as an ode to set A if you're predicting set B the following season, right? You should just
Oh yeah.
try. You know how the first season of rank I did Dark Tina, the last season
Hmm.
of rank A, you should use Dark Tina. It would just be so poetic.
Maybe I will. Maybe next. Well, let's try it this season for the rest of this one, and then if I get good at it, then maybe I'll use it next season to try and get to back to top 10k again and
Oh,
beyond.
yeah, no, that's yeah. Hopefully you get there soon. I just
The f-
realized that with the way I play, top 10K is just not for me. I have to come to terms with that.
yeah, that's fair. I I think one of the things that puts me off Dark Tina as well is it doesn't look fun to play. Like, yeah, you'll get wins, which is enjoyable to win, but I don't know, just sitting there with the two things like powering this guy up, doing this, I don't know. I there's no variety there. Like, some of the decks that I've used this season in ranked have been pretty fun actually. I've quite enjoyed them, which has put me off playing Dark Tina because I just don't think I would enjoy it.
We do have a
But
few of your enjoyable decks to showcase, and you can talk about them.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah. I've taken some screenshots. We can get them up on screen in a second.
all right.
Um,
Let me know.
we've got yeah, yeah. Start getting up on the screen now. I'll
All
start
right.
to go through them.
I think this
I
should be yeah. This is the gone fishing one. Yep.
Yeah, so the way that I've ordered these is like the ones that I've used the most going down to the ones that I've used the least. Gone
Right.
fishing.
So just as a preface here, I obviously downloaded these pictures to put it up on stream, right? On screen right now,
Yeah.
but I haven't actually looked at it. So you and me both, I mean the viewer and me both, are looking at this for pretty much the first time, so we can make fun of Sam together.
No, there's no making fun of me. These decks are pretty good, I think. Like there's not any what was the really crappy meme deck I had? Oh, it was the Guzzlord Sylvally. That would have been a terrible deck. I never really used it, so I don't want to talk about that one anymore. But I do like that on these screenshots you can see my little top 10k badge there. That's really nice.
I don't know what you're talking about. For me, I just see Suicune badge, emptiness, and Smeargle badge.
Yeah, it's just static to you. You just don't see it.
Yeah, no, it's just there's nothing there. I don't know what you're talking about. Uh,
Yeah. This deck has been really fun to play, especially when you come up against other Suicune decks. So the idea behind it is kind of using Suicune as a wall rather than an attacker. I mean, obviously, if you don't draw the Magikarp and the Gyarados, you can use it to attack. But generally, I'll have the Suicune in the active spot, and I'll hopefully have a Magikarp on the bench, or potentially even better, I'll start off with a Mantike and be able to power things up super quick. Um, but yeah, you want to power up the Magikarps, get the Gyarados online, and then your Suicune soaks up damage. You can then bounce it to the bench with a leaf, or potentially with by retreating it with getting rid of 2 energy, because you don't need the energy on it anymore. Because Gyarados is going to bin that thing off, put it into the discard pile, and do 140 damage or whatever damage you need to do to the opponent to knock them out. So you would get your Suicune onto the bench, get rid of it, and then whatever other cards you want to get rid of, and you do loads of damage. And then you can fish that Suicune back out with the fishing net, and it's oh mate, it's so satisfying when it works. It's really fun. It does struggle against electric decks, you know, with all the water Pokemon, but I have beaten Raikou decks and things with this because of the damage that Gyarados can put out.
that's interesting, but in theory, you discard your. Are you discarding a second Magikarp, two Mantikes, and a Suicune, or are you just discarding Suicunes and a Mantike and then fishing up the Suicunes back up and then like would you not have
Well,
to? Won't you not lose a lot of Pokemon in the process to do 140 because you'll discard three Pokemon for 140 and you can fish up two of them, and then you're left with one, two, three. You fished back two, one, two. You're left with so yeah, you get to do 143 times, but you can't fish them back up. Is the thing.
yeah, that's the thing. I do think. I mean, there are obviously issues with this deck. I did used to run it with two Pukyu Mewtwo's, but I just found that it would mean that I would brick a bit more often by just drawing Pukyu Mewtwo. So I decided I'll knock that down to one. As you said, you've got you've got a Gyarados in your active spot. That means you could potentially have one Magikarp, two Mantike, two Suicune, and a Pukyu Mewtwo. So that's six. Six things you can sack off, plus two more fishing nets to bring you up to eight. 8 times that you can do potentially. So take away three from that, that's 140. Take away three from that, that is 140 again. And then another two makes you 100, which is generally enough to win you the game. Especially if you've already knocked something out with Suicune or done a little bit of extra damage with Pukyu Mewtwo getting knocked out in the active spot. Like,
Yeah, but if Pyukumuku gets knocked out, that's one of your fishing nets gone, so that's 130 damage as well gone, or 140 damage. Yeah.
It's true, but I think doing 140 in general in today's meta will knock something out because you're gonna either knock out like one of the legendary dogs or maybe not a Guzzlord, but if you knock out a Guzzlord with two Gyarados 140s, you don't even need to do two Gyarados 140s because you need to do you need 5 discards to do enough damage with Gyarados, I think, for a Guzzlord. 140
No,
plus
you don't.
100.
Isn't Gyarados 30 plus? So you just discard and don't discard again.
It's 20 plus, so you can do 3 and then a 1, I think, to knock it out, because that'll do 140 plus 60 is 200 damage. So that's enough to knock out a Guzzlord. But I mean, even if that is the case, you can still use your Suicune, because the Suicune can also knock things out with 120 damage if you've got 3 things on the bench, which generally with this deck you do have, unless you've used Gyarados before Suicune. But you get the Suicune, and it can get extra things out of the discard pile with Fishing Net as well. So that benefits. It's like synergy with the Gyarados and the Suicune both liking that Fishing Net. Which I prefer to Fisherman, I think it is, because he's a flip coin card, and I'm not a big fan of flipping coins. I'd rather just have guaranteed get one thing out of the graveyard, and it's also not a supporter, so it means you can combo it with that. A lot of the time, I won't draw Leaf with this deck, so I'll have Suicune in the active spot, and I'll have to power it up, do a bit of damage with that, which means potentially I have to discard less things with the Gyarados. And it can as I said, it soaks up damage. You bring your Suicune out, and then you can discard it with Gyarados and bring it back to full health with Fishing Net. So it's super fun, and I really recommend using this deck or trying it out, because I'd much prefer using this to using Suicune and Greninja and Giratina. I just find them way more fun.
Yeah, I don't have 2 Suicune EXs to try this out, but this does look like a lot of fun. Funnily enough, I know you hate this part of the podcast, but one deck that would absolutely destroy this deck is Dragonite.
Yes, yeah, I don't think this deck has beaten a Dragonite, I'm gotta say. I haven't come up against it much, maybe like 3 times, but when I have, I've really struggled when I've used this deck. And I have played Dragonite a lot in this ranked season, but I mean specifically playing it with this deck. I haven't really come up against it much with this one, but when I have, I think I've lost pretty much every time, unless maybe I won once, but they didn't get the Dragonite EX online or something.
Yeah, funnily enough, I was struggling for the first, I got to Master Ball no problem. First day I tried, pretty much first day I was 20 points away from Master Ball. So I got to Master Ball with, I can't remember what deck I used at this point. I think it was the hyper aggressive Flareons, I reckon. I got there, no problem. But then I struggled to get out of 1450 for the next 5 or 6 days. And then I tried out a hyper aggressive Raikou EX deck with no Oricorio, believe it or not, and got about 100 points. And then from 1550 to 1850, it's only been Dragonite. So Dragonite this season is insane. If you remember the struggle I had with it 2 seasons ago, it's just such a big, like, it's actually quite good, and you would enjoy this. It's quite fun because the deck I'm using was kind of, I don't know if Nagi made it all by himself, but he tested it out and play tested it in I think he was top 5k at that point, or maybe it was top 10k Master Ball at least. And they had tried it there, and they added a 80, the 80 damage Dragonair from Genetic Apex.
Yes.
That's mainly there to give a shock to Oricorios. And I've seen people see me use Dragonite. They don't put anything on their bench except for 2 or just an Oricorio they had there. I charged up my Dratini with one of them because it runs Mantike, Pichu, and Dratini. Dratini is the only 4 basics. So I charged up my Dratini with the 2 energy I required. Turn 4, I was able to evolve into my Dragonair, knocked out the Oricorio, and then they rage quit, and I won the game. So it's got so much help that it's not. I would call it, earlier it was a fun deck to play that gets you wins. I think it's become an off meta pick now. It's not the best, and you can certainly struggle if you don't get the right baby Pokemon, right? But it's definitely off meta, and I remember facing a mirror, and I think they had 8 to 10 turns of just electric energy, and I was like, it's off meta for sure, because it still requires you drawing the right baby Pokemon or drawing the right energy, but it definitely feels a lot. It's just, I've enjoyed it a lot this time, and not just because I like Dragonite, because I did struggle with it the last time.
Well, that's good. I'm glad to hear you're enjoying yourself in ranked for once. Especially with Dragonite. No, I did actually play a bit of Dragonite right at the start of the season, but I don't think I was using the deck that's doing really well. I was using one that actually had like Suicune in it, because I was like, okay, I'll put 2 Suicunes in here and have Pichus to get the electric energy for Dragonite. It didn't do too well, so I moved on from it pretty quickly. But yeah, no, Dragonite, 180 power. We always knew it was going to be super good, but just needed to find the right, or needed the cards to support it, and it seems to have that now.
It definitely does with Mantike and Pichu, just because I reckon with Mantike, Pichu, and running dual energy, unless you get the worst luck in the world, you're going to get something. But it's just, again, getting Dragonite is difficult because it is a stage 2. So you need a lot going for you. But it does have a lot going. It's gotten a lot of support. Lyra, Elemental Switches, Mantike, Pichu, Capes. It's not new support, but those are all stuff that it's gotten that's really, really, really helped it out.
Yeah.
But enough Dragonite, I guess.
Enough Dragonite, and I think enough of this deck as well. It's just last thing. This is my favorite deck from this season, and I'd highly recommend people playing it if you have the cards for it. You did actually also mention Oricorio, which leads us into our next deck nicely.
Yep, it's on the screen now. It's called Speed Null.
Speed Null. I'm not going to talk about this one too much, but this is the deck that got me to Master Ball. It does have an Oricorio in it, but I did play a lot of it without Oricorio, because as you said, with the Dragonite deck, you don't put Oricorio in it anymore. I think that the top deck this season has been Suicune, Greninja, Giratina. Probably 3 of the best cards in the game, and have been for a while. Well, obviously not Suicune, but the other 2. And Greninja is just so good against Oricorio that it kind of makes it like not that necessary. If they don't draw into Greninja, Oricorio is good. If they do, you kind of just, your Oricorio usually goes down anyway, so it's like, yeah. So for a while, I wasn't playing this with Oricorio.
I mean, even if they get it down, right? Even if you put Oricorio, even if you have 2 Oricorios, unless you only have 2 Oricorios and nothing else, the Greninja still finds a way, because it'll ping something else and then pull it out with Cyrus. So
exactly.
Yeah, but go on.
So yeah, it kind of circumvents the whole point of Oricorio in a lot of decks anyway. But then eventually I realized, like, okay, granted that deck doesn't care too much about Oricorio, but so many other decks like struggle against it, and you can still stall out the Suicune Giratina one with Oricorio if you manage to take out their Greninjas. Like maybe you get a first turn where you draw Zeraora or whatever card that can knock out Froakie, and they draw Froakie, you knock out their Froakie, and they're down to Greninja straight away, so then your Oricorio has much more value. Yeah, so I eventually came to the decision, all right, Oricorio is just too good of a card not to have in an electric deck. So I put it back in, and yeah, this got me to Master Ball. It's funny. Last season, was it last season where Elemental Switch was to the game?
Yes, Ho-Ho Lugia packs, yeah.
I really wanted to play this basically with 2 elemental switches, and I didn't get it till like right at the end when they had that event where you could just get elemental switches nice and easily. Was it a Wonder Pick event? I think it was. Yeah, so that's when I got the elemental switches, and I. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Oh.
Yeah. So what I wanted to say was, I know you said you were struggling with elemental switches. I also wasn't able to get 2 of them because even though I swapped to Lugia packs when I was opening Ho-Ho packs, I just couldn't get a second elemental switch. I have 4 now, but yes, they are difficult to get. I always struggle with that 2-diamond supporter. It was silver for the Wosas. And now, surprisingly, now it's not that meta, but it was Whitney for these packs. But yeah, go on.
Yeah.
Tell us about the deck.
Nah, Elemental Switch was avoiding us. I was so glad they actually did that Wonder Pick event for it, because it just meant we could get those. I think I have like 6 now because of that. So yeah. I did have a Pichu in this deck at some point, but for me, I had so much more value from Zeraora. Because what you want to happen, right, is have a Pichu and a type Null, or a Pichu and one of the electric, anything and a Pichu. But I think I just much preferred to have a Zeraora and a type Null, because then I could potentially get an elemental switch, bang that energy up from Zeraora to type Null, and just attack for 100 like really quickly, or leave Zeraora in the active spot, start doing 50 damage on turn 3 potentially, and not lose a point for no reason from having Pichu instead of having Zeraora. Right. So you're getting damage off, you're getting like extra energy anyway with the Zeraora that you can potentially bounce up with Elemental Switch.
Yep.
And I just found so much more value from Zeraora than bothering with Pichu.
Yeah, I think a deck that I had success with last season was a Silvally deck, but it was Tyro, Pichu, Magby, Darkrai.
Yeah.
Silvally.
Yeah.
It was really
enjoying that deck last season.
Yeah, I really liked the Tyrogue. The Tyrogue 20, when I was first introduced to Tyrogue 20, right? I was like, why are we wasting time with the Tyrogue? What, we not just want energy ramp? But the Tyrogue 20, if you end up having a bad start or going first, especially I think at that last season, Silvally was still quite strong, right? You saw a lot of type nulls. It does 40 to a type null going first, and unless they can draw Silvally, they die next turn, right?
Yeah, that is really nice. I struggled with that deck last season, to be honest. I couldn't get it going.
Yeah, it's just so funny because it's so funny how meta decks can work for some people and just not work for others.
Yeah, it's just the way of Pocket, right? Yeah, I mean, I've always enjoyed Silvally. I've been going on about it since it came out, basically. So yeah, this is what got me to Master Ball. So
the Silvally to my Dragonite.
Yes, exactly. All right, let's go on for the next one.
All right, let me just get it up.
This is Chomp is back. Is it on screen?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, so this one I had a lot of fun with.
You know what's funny? I like Garchomp as much as I like Dragonite because they were my first 2, other than starter Pokemon, that I actually used in mainline Pokemon games. But just Garchomp, I guess because Garchomp was introduced as a non-EX card first, right? But Dragonite was introduced as a non-EX card first as well. I just don't know why Dragonite stuck and Garchomp didn't. But no, that's just unrelated. Go on, explain yourself. Sorry.
Well, Garchomp. Wait, you mean stuck for how much you like it, or
Yeah.
for?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry,
Yeah.
I thought you meant like in the meta.
No,
Because
no.
Garchomp EX has been pretty good,
Yeah,
like
for sure.
most seasons. But this season, obviously, we got Mantike. So one of my first thoughts was, old Garchomp can now attack pretty quickly. Um, This the Suicune EX is kind of literally just there to draw cards. I mean, potentially you can get it set up by using 2 Mantikes to get it on, but it's a bit of a waste doing that. Might not want to use Suicune in this. You could potentially do something else instead. Maybe I did use this with E and Sylveon as well. I tried that variant, but that was a lot of cards invested into drawing, whereas Suicune will just let you draw quickly if you get into it first turn. Maybe you could just drop the Suicune entirely and not worry about card draws and just try with Garchomp.
Do you
I did
reckon dual
also.
energy would help you here?
I don't know. I don't like running dual energy because, like, it just seems so inconsistent. You could keep just getting water energy and never get that fighting energy that
You
you
know
need for
what?
Garchomp.
You're right. I remember a game I played, I think yesterday, 2 days ago, against a Garchomp. They only drew water energy for 10 turns. They had literally drew, so they were playing the Sylveon EX version, right?
Mhm.
They had their entire deck in their hand. They only were down left to 2 cards left, which I assume were 2 Cynthias, and they never drew a fighting energy. Yeah.
It's that is the way that it goes with these kind of like dual energy decks. That's why I just like running the 1 energy and having something like a baby to power it up. I did also run this with Garchomp EX, speaking of it, for a little bit, because obviously that requires 2 fighting energy and 1 colorless to use its big attack. So you can still power up your Gibble with Mantike and then not worry about and then you can just give it 2 fighting energy and you're ready to go. Turn 4, when's the earliest you can do that? Turn 4, I think, because you can give it a water energy, a fighting energy, rare candy up into Garchomp, and have 2 fighting energy and 1 more. Yeah, that would work. So that was also a variant that I ran of this, and I've actually seen a content creator who advertised that version of this deck. Basically, I don't think it had Sweet in it though. So it is viable. People have played it.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Um,
Like we said, right? Any deck will get you the wins. It's just how quickly they will get you to, in terms of rank, how quickly will they get you to rank up, right?
Yeah. The thing with this one, literally, if you start with Mantike, Gibble, Garchomp, and a Rare Candy in hand, you're gonna have a good time because getting that Garchomp online, getting the 2 energy on it, you're doing 100 damage, which is great damage. Well, we know that from Silvally. 2 damage for 100, consistent, good. Oh no, sorry, 2 energy for 100 damage is very good. And then obviously you can do Cynthia to do 150, which knocks out a lot of the meta staples of this season. So once you get that Garchomp online, you're in a really good spot. But there have been times where you brick and you don't get any stage 2 deck can brick, right? You can just be struggling to get your thing online. So I played this a little, but not as much as the 2 other decks we've shown. And I had fun with it when it worked, and then sometimes I bricked and it was just a struggle. So swings and roundabouts again with this one.
Yeah, no, but it's definitely a fun deck. Again, surprisingly, can't use this deck because I don't have a second Mantike, but what it is. Oh, and also, looking at your gold Pokeball, speaking of Mantike, I have crossed 9,000 cards in Pocket. No gold card yet, so just waiting for it to fall, I guess. But it's fine. I'll get it.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
You're gonna get one of the most useless one, I reckon, at some point.
If I get an EV bag, I'm gonna be so annoyed because no one's seeing EV bag anymore, right?
I've seen Eevee Bag a couple times. I see Eevee Bag more than I see. Is it Gold Lunala?
Oh yeah, no fair. That's right. Yeah, true.
But I feel like that card may be one day viable when Psychic gets some kind of energy generation, some kind of card that just makes more psychic energy. Lunala might.
I mean, we do have a
resurgence.
card that makes more psychic energy, and it still didn't work.
Yeah, God of War. I mean like a
Giratina.
or a basic even. Oh, Giratina. Yeah, true. I didn't think of that.
Yep. He hates the deck
Yeah.
so much he's forgotten what it does.
Yeah, true. Okay, well, maybe Null is just bad, and I'm wrong. Yeah, well, that's Chomp is back. It's pretty fun, especially when you get the Garchomp online. Next deck, Decidueye EX. I've only just started using this one, so the next 3 decks I've used a very small amount, but they have been fun. This one I saw advertised a lot on Reddit. I saw people going on about how Decidueye was today's. Is it? Let's have a go. Super fun, really fun. It does really well into Guzzlord when you come up against him, which I've fought quite a lot of.
This
It
would
does
be
good
useful
against...
for the Celesteela Guzzlord that's running specifically to counter Suicune, right? Because
Yes.
that deck works well when they have a Celesteela on the bench and they just rotate the Guzzlords around. If you just knock out the Celesteela, their Guzzlord's just sitting duck. You just need one Guzzlord to win. Because
exactly.
yeah, I don't like. I tried using that deck, didn't get much success with it, but for some reason that deck always gets the better of me. But yeah.
Yeah, that's just Guzzlord in general, right? Like, I was super hyped for that card when it came out, but now I hate it because whenever I use Guzzlord, I never flip heads with what's it called, Grindcore. But then whenever I verse it, people flip like 6 heads in a row, and I lose all my energy.
Yeah, that's
Fortunately
the
for this deck,
thing, yeah.
you don't really require too much energy, so you can kind of get around Grindcore and not worry too much about it. It also does quite well into the main staple, Suicune, Giratina, Greninja, because you can start chipping things on the bench and just knock them out without them like being able to set up.
Yeah.
You only need 2 Mons really on the field in Pheromosa and 1 Rowlet, so you can kind of let your Pheromosa chip damage everywhere so that you have your options on who you're going to hit. And if you start Rowlet, you still do the same thing in just choosing who you're going to want to try and knock out with its skill dive. And then once you get hopefully your Pheromosa will get knocked out, and then you can get your Decidueye online, and it will just start wreaking havoc against Suicune, Greninja, Giratina, because you can heal it with Erica to basically mitigate the 60 damage that Suicune will be able to do, potentially 80 with the Greninja, maybe even 100, but I mean, they'll have to have a lot of setup to be able to do 100 damage to you per turn because they need 2 Greninjas and a Suicune and their full bench, right?
No, that's 64. But then you should have another one in your bench. So they will do 100.
Once you get Decidueye online against the Suicune deck, you don't want to have anything else on your bench, really.
Right, alright. Yeah, this is completely unrelated to the way the deck works. But I was looking at this deck, and you made this deck because it has that invisible badge. But you have two-star Decidueye EXs?
Yeah.
Wow. Alright,
Yeah.
fair play.
Two-star Decidueye EXs and 1 regular Decidueye EX for some reason. Fortunately for me, it's probably one of the nicest looking 2 stars, so I'm pretty happy to flaunt that. But yeah, it's a cool card. It's a cool deck as well. I like using it. I've only just added the Cleffer to try and get more draws. Again, Cleffer is one of the things where you have it out in the front spot, get the card you need, and then you just let it go down so that your Decidueye can come in and be the only card on your side of the field. Even if, like I said before, the Suicune is able to do the 100 damage to you with 2 Greninjas on the bench, and maybe a Giratina as well on their bench, so they can do 60 with Suicune, and then 20 chippies with the 2 Greninjas, that'd be 100. So even if they're doing that, your Decidueye probably has 200 health with the Leaf Cape, and then you can heal up 50 or 60 with Lily or Erica. So potentially, even if they're able to do 100 to you, that's only 50 if you have the healing cards you need. So you'll only go down to 150 health. So you've got it's really good against it. It works so well, and
Yeah.
I've had great luck with this deck against Suicune.
I wouldn't mind trying it out, but yeah, it does look fun. It definitely does look fun, yeah.
Yeah, I'd recommend it. I've only played a handful of games, maybe like 10, but it's been pretty good to me. I've enjoyed it.
Yeah. Anything else you want to add to this deck, or can we move on to your next 2 that you have not tried much at all?
Yeah, we can move on.
Alright.
It's a fun grass deck. Now, Okay, so this version of Spooder, I haven't really played too much of. I did it originally without the memory lights, but with Pichus instead and something else in the other spots. Maybe an extra Mars or something,
You
or
said you did it
maybe a
without
Raikou.
memory lights and sorry.
I did it without memory lights and no wills
Right.
originally.
Yeah.
And I haven't played it since I've changed it up. But I am gonna have a little play around with it at some point. It's I think this deck does need another elemental switch. I don't know why I've only got one in there, so maybe I'd get rid of the. But although the repel's good because of power.
You said you get rid of the
Galvantula
repel,
power
right,
lines.
for a second elemental switch?
Maybe, but
Yeah.
I think I would probably keep the repel because it works quite well with paralysis. So maybe something else would need to go for it. Maybe the red card because I've already got a Mars, or get rid of the Mars and keep the red card. One of the two for an elemental switch. But basically, the idea is you get the Galvantula online. You can do 70 damage with it. Is it 70 damage? I think, which is pretty decent for 2 energy. And then you paralyze the Pokemon in the active spot. So they can't retreat, they can't do anything, they just have to sit there and not attack. It's a guaranteed paralyze, so that's really good, unless they have Lyra, which isn't really that, you don't really see that too much, or you're playing against a Solgaleo, which can get a Solgaleo in from the bench. So you do that, and then if you have Memory Light, you can chuck it on your Galvantula, and you can guaranteed flip aheads with Will. So you do need a lot of cards to get to this point, but with 2 of them each in the deck, it's viable. And that'll mean that you can, because Galvantula's attack gets rid of all your energy, you can then use Joltik's attack, which only does 10 damage, but it flips a coin to paralyze again. So you could use Will to guaranteed get the paralyze again with the Joltik, and then put another energy on your Galvantula to do 70 damage and guaranteed paralyze without having to flip. So it's got really cool synergy with Memory Light and Will.
Yeah, no, and also if you had 2 Zeraoras in the bench, and if you're gonna put a second elemental switch, you could do it again twice.
Yeah, exactly. That's the you don't even need to use Memory Light in that case if you have the
Yeah,
one
if you have
hand.
double Zeraora, yeah.
Yeah. So that was how I was originally playing it without the memory lights and stuff, was just trying to get electric energy generation with Pichu and having stuff on the bench with extra electric energy to just get Galvantula to continuously paralyze things. But yeah, I do want to try this version out because sometimes you're just, when I wasn't running the memory light Will, I was just sat there with a Galvantula and not able to generate the energy I needed and just getting knocked out.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I mean, this is definitely fun. It requires 3 points for them to actually win the game. It doesn't look like you'd have a lot of bench for them to poke anyways with Suicune, so and it does well into Suicune, so I know you didn't see it much, you didn't practice or play much with this, but it does, on paper, looks very decent.
For sure. Yeah. So I'm going to give this a go, and it's just something a card that people haven't really been using.
Yeah.
I would want to try out. Next up, the last deck, and this one I really want it to work, but the problem is.
Heatran again. What's again about it? Was it ever good?
Well, I've always liked Heatran.
Or
And I've
wait,
always.
you know what? Plot twist. He made this deck just to use his 2 gold cards together. That's why he did
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
That could be it. I mean, any Arceus deck that I use is going to use the Golden Arceus and the Pokeball, right? And the Golden Pokeball. But no, the reason it's called Heatran again is I've used throughout Pocket's history.
So you used what
especially,
again?
obviously,
You cut out there.
oh, Heatran a
Yeah.
few times.
Yeah.
Heatran and Arceus, just one of my favorite combos.
Yeah.
I used to use Arceus, Heatran, and the Rotom that combos with Arceus, that has 0 retreat if Arceus is on the field. Heatran has 0 retreat if. So this deck, you can move energy around. You can get the energies on things with Magby. You can retreat for free with Heatran if Arceus is down, and then ping up the energy with Elemental Switch. People don't really want to attack Heatran sometimes, so that because Heatran has damage on it, it does extra damage.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. 40 plus 40 even has damage. I was thinking,
Yeah,
what is Heatran's? Like, I know Heatran retreats for free. I know Heatran does 40, but there was something about Heatran that people used to love. Yeah, says a lot about what decks I use.
yeah. Well, I think I made a video on Heatran forever ago,
Yeah.
and, like saying Heatran's back. Obviously, clickbaity title, but I had fun with it, and I've always had fun with it. And I wanted to an Entei obviously helping you with draws and potentially doing a pure energy
120.
around.
Yep.
The thing is, water decks are so strong right now that this deck just struggles. So I've made it, but I'm not using it because I just know that I'll run into Suicune and be sad.
Yeah. It does seem fun. I don't think I'll use this one. Like all the others, like there's a chance I would use it. This one, yeah, I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan
Yeah,
of Entei. I have the Rainbow Entei, but yeah, I'm not the biggest fan.
yeah, yeah. Fair enough. I think that there was us when this deck was, or when this set released, we were like, oh yeah. Well, I say us, me, basically being like, oh yeah, Entei's the best one. Then it's Suicune, then it's Raikou. Obviously, Entei should have been at the bottom, but then the other two bumped up. But hindsight is everything, isn't it?
I mean, or you just look at a card and you know it's not gonna be meta like I did. I didn't think Entei would do well because of the extra two for 120, right?
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
yeah.
The only reason that
I
Raikou
gave
does well
right.
is because Suicune is so good. Okay.
Fair enough. Uh, fair enough. Yeah, I think I don't remember what I knew Entei wasn't going to be good because it requires 4 to do 120, so damage per energy is only basically 30. I thought Raikou would be good because I figured people won't stack the bench where they see Suicune, but people are not doing that because
Mhm.
the best way to win is to give yourself the best opportunity to win, and putting Pokemon on your bench gives you a better opportunity to win than it would be to preventing your opponent from doing more damage. So that's how Suicune ended up rising to the top because people didn't care about not stacking their bench.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those that's a catch-22. If you don't stack your bench and you've got the cards you need to use after the mon that's in the active, you could get red carded or masked, which is very strong in today's meta because of the draw power of the
Yeah,
game.
yeah.
So yeah, you're taking a risk by not putting something on the bench, but then you're also taking a risk by putting something on the bench if you're playing Suicune. So it's really rough.
But yeah, that's all the decks that we have today, right? I don't think we've got any more.
Nope, I think that's it.
Yeah,
6 decks that I built.
yeah.
A lot, none of them are too original. I think the last one is the most original. The rest are sort of other people's ideas that I've tweaked and made my own decks. But yeah, they've been fun decks to use. I don't think it's the most fun I've had in ranked, but the Gyarados deck has been a very cool way to play. One of the cool things about that is when I saw that Gyarados card crash, and the fact that it actually works because of Suicune, I just thought was cool.
So when you saw the Gyarados card, what did you do?
Oh, when I saw that Gyarados card initially, I'm sorry, the mic's cutting out a lot today, I guess.
Yeah.
When I saw that Gyarados card initially, I didn't think it was good. I thought it was kind of garbage.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So
But
the fact that it works with Suicune, really cool,
yeah, you'd be quite happy with that.
for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. There was one last little topic we wanted to touch on today, and that's the fact that as we said earlier, this month of Pocket has probably been like the most, I guess, jaded is the word, the most where I haven't really had too much drawing me back to the game.
I mean, but again,
Other than
it's a situation where uh this week should have been trailer release week, and you wouldn't have felt it other if it was.
well, even so, like I think in previous weeks, like I was kind of just going through the motions of open pack, do sneak peek, play a bit of ranked, and that's it. But now that I've made it to Master Ball, I'm not even bothering with the ranked. Like, I mean, I will play it eventually to get to the 1675, but um, I just think we were trying to sort of brainstorm some ideas that could add a little bit more content to the game.
Mm-hmm.
Like the first thing that I feel like they could add, maybe hopefully some of this stuff comes in set B. It would
Right.
be like some kind of single player campaign. Like I know we have the solo battle but
Right.
there's not really much like there's no story to them. You just do them, you get the hourglasses, you move on, you never look again.
Yeah.
If you're us,
Yeah.
maybe some people play them again. But yeah, so just some kind of like I don't know. You know, I don't think you ever played it, but the Game Boy Color Pokemon trading card game where you have like a map and you walk around the map and you fight all of the different gyms which are in that game, dojos,
Right.
um, and you just there's a little bit of story, there's a little bit of back and forth. How they
Hmm.
could do that with Pocket, I don't really know, but it would just be fun. I think
Yeah. No. Fair.
something like that.
Fair enough. Absolutely.
Yeah, would you like to see something like that in the game?
I mean, I guess yeah. It would be like you're saying, just PvP, not PvE, right? It wouldn't be called PvP anymore.
Yeah.
Where, but don't the solo battles kind of do the? I guess you want more of the solo battles, right?
Yeah, well, just more something a bit more interesting than just like a screen that you go to and you can see sort of a deck you're about to face. Maybe just like a map where you can I don't know, it might be a bit too complicated to add to a mobile game.
Yeah, and also I
But
think their main game is collecting the cards, trading the cards, and battling the cards, right? Like if you want more of that kind of story-based Pokemon content, you got other games to play, right? Like
yeah,
I understand where you're coming from, why you want it. Like it would definitely make like the lull weeks more interesting. Like for sure, I can see the appeal of that. But that's not they didn't make this game for that. Like if you want a game
yeah.
like that, there's other games to play, right?
Well, maybe that's not quite the path that I would go down a bit then, but something similar where you just something else other than solo battles. Maybe even like a solo battle thing that's like an event where you beat this deck, like a meta deck that they've found. Sorry, excuse me. That maybe Denna would take a look at what's doing really well in their game and say, okay, let's take that deck, make it into a solo battle, and if people beat it, they get like a decent amount of hourglass in
But
a certain
it's
amount of time, like a week.
but it's easy to beat those decks, right? Like if you keep
If you build
trying, you'll
against it.
eventually beat that deck because they may draw poorly.
Yeah, but that's not the point of it being easy. The point is more content and just encouraging people to build decks to try and beat the meta. Because then if people do that, then they can be like, oh, I can take this into ranked and have it go there. You know, it's just an idea. It doesn't matter if it's easy or if it's hard. Just
Oh no no no!
encouraging
I'm
more
not saying
content.
easy or hard that way. I'm saying to give out hourglasses. Do you reckon they want to give out hourglasses for something that's as it is they want you to spend more on the game, right? That's the whole idea of any game that has in-game purchases, right? Uh,
Yeah.
so like yes, and also by the way, Pocket is really really nice to people who don't like. I know many people might disagree, but they're actually quite nice to free to play players. Like you can substantially with trading. I reckon even at the pace you're releasing sets, right? With trading, if you open your 2 packs every day, except for main sets, you can probably finish every other set. So, right? Because the secret rare cards are
Yeah.
just reskins. So you're not missing out on that in terms of new content, I guess, or new cards. They're just reskin of main set cards. So given the fact that a game you can buy stuff in lets you complete most of it without paying, I think they're very kind to us with the free to play.
Yeah, yeah, but I don't think the whole giving out hourglasses is the problem. It's more getting people to play that game.
Correct.
More like engagement is what they want, and that's just This is what I'm trying to like put across as an idea for that. Is just how to for people to play the game consistently. How to get them to keep on playing in the weeks where there's downtime, like this now. It
Yeah.
would be some kind of
Yeah. No,
I don't
I
know, a
agree.
solo campaign or a single player campaign sort of thing, or a weekly challenge battle that you could do. That they just put out a new deck each week to do some more solo stuff. Because people, if you're not like us and you don't like ranked, some kind of just PVE, more PVE element to the game would have you playing even more as well.
Yeah, and they'll get you to make decks.
Yeah, exactly.
which will get them
and
to
something
open
else.
more packs. But yeah, so yeah, that makes sense.
Engagement is key to any mobile game.
Yeah.
But another thing they could do is, instead of PvE, is some kind of PvP unique battle thing. Something similar to what Nuggy does. He does the tournaments where there's constraints, cards you could use. Maybe we could have something like built into the game that does that, like a little cup where you can only use basics that evolve, or basics and stage ones that have another evolution.
Yeah.
Or certain types where it's like, okay, everyone has to use water type in this PvP. Not ranked, but I don't know.
Yeah. Nah, it's like a tournament kind of thing. I agree with you. Yeah.
Yeah, like something like that should be added to the game so that we can have more engagement. Because as much as I'd love to play in the tournaments that that Nuggy does and that other content creators do, I don't really have time to commit an entire day to be playing Pocket against other people online. And you know, I have a wife and a kid. I've got a life to live. I can't commit an entire Sunday to doing that. But if it was in the game and there was a nice long time period, like a week, where this was going on, then I could do that.
Yeah, no, I see where you're coming from. Very valid points. I guess for me, it's more like if I like what they're giving me, I play, and if I'm not liking what the game's giving me, I just don't play. So that's why I don't have anything I would like to add. But listening to what you're voicing out now, it does make a lot of sense for those who like want to actually be engaged with the game. Like everything you brought up so far is quite valid, and it is something that maybe they're already going to add that, because we have a special ticket, right? You know, that early admission ticket or whatever. What's that going to be?
What does it do?
Yeah. But
Yeah.
no, that's why I couldn't add anything to what you're saying, is because for me, if I like a game, I play it, and then if I don't like a game, I don't play it. I'm not somebody who so much like, okay, what can this game add to make me like it more? I just take what the game gives me. If I like it, I play it, and if I don't like it, I don't play it. So that's why I can't add to what you're saying. But definitely, what you're saying would improve the engagement and keep people playing longer for sure.
Yeah, like don't get me wrong, I love Pocket. We'd create a podcast about it. I wouldn't be talking about it if I wasn't obsessed with it. But I think I need a little bit more when it comes to these weeks to keep me engaged.
Yeah,
But
nah, for sure.
It's weird because I want these things, but then maybe if I had them, I wouldn't want them, because
Yeah.
then I would have to play too much Pocket and I would get even more burnt out, like
Yeah.
I did last season. So
It's a catch 22.
it's a catch 22.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel about what they could do for the game in the future.
Yep.
And I did see a post a while back. I think it was Reddit. It probably was. That's where I see most of my news about things. People were saying that, or the people weren't saying, people had found info where the people that do Pocket were saying stuff like big changes are coming to the game and stuff like this.
Yeah.
Maybe that's just alluding to Set B coming out, but
Yeah.
maybe they're going to add a bunch more content when Set B comes out. So that's my hope.
Yeah.
That's what we want to see from the game.
For sure.
When the B comes to be.
When the B comes to be.
All right. Well, I think I've gotten everything off my chest today.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll see a trailer later. Probably not. Very, very unlikely.
Yeah.
But hopefully we'll have trailer week next week, so we can go over what the next set might be. I don't really have much inkling for what it's going to be, to be honest. I don't know if you have any ideas.
So you got one Gen 1, Gen 2 is done. Gen 3 maybe?
Gen 3,
Yeah. Because we got 4, we got 7. They're not going to give us 6. And I doubt they'll give us 8 or 9. So it's either 3 or 5 maybe?
I'm still hoping for although I don't think they do this, but a baby like a Manaphy based set.
Oh, but
that
also
has Fiona in it.
Also, only main sets start a new generation, right? The mini sets don't really have a generation theme, so I could be off with the Gen 3 stuff.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, there is something else that I wanted to talk about. Kind of not pocket related, kind of pocket related. The new megas that they released for ZA. So you got the 2 Raichus and then the 3 Colossian starters with the megas. I think those designs are peak. They are dope. I love them.
I'm the right shoes. I'm neutral about, but the mega starters they do look interesting. They
Yeah,
do
no,
look
I'm not.
fun.
I agree. The Raichus are okay, but the other 3, oh, so good. I've seen people hating on Greninja saying change that much. It's just upside down on a Ninja Star. It's upside down on a giant Ninja Star. What more do you need? Like, it's sick.
Do you want it
I
to be on
love that.
all fours?
Yeah, what did you want? It's dope. I'm a big fan, and the other 2 designs are just so good. I
Yeah,
love
I think
Delphox
Delphox is
so much.
on like a broom, right?
Yeah, yeah, and then it's got like 2 floating brooms next to it as well. It's just sick.
Yeah, it's pretty
And
cool.
they all have something that someone in my Discord pointed out. They all have accents from their shinies.
Yeah, I noticed that. I noticed that. I was about to say though they look shiny-ish, but not quite.
Yeah,
Yeah,
similar to the is it Gyarados Charizard X that has
yeah,
the black
yeah,
shiny
yeah.
or black
Black
mega.
mega, yeah.
Yeah, so that's kind of cool that they've done that. Maybe I saw someone saying that Greninja's shiny could be white, which would be sick.
Or they might just give
Um,
us regular colorations of them.
yeah, maybe. I hope not. That would be kind of lame. I want to see something different.
uh,
Very cool though.
it is.
So yeah, that'll be it. Hopefully, we'll see them in Pocket as well in Set B.
Yeah. No, maybe mini set could have those 3 as a feature. Like
Yeah,
the
maybe.
mega the if set B is gonna be megas, they'll just do the popular megas, so Charizard will get its thing. I think they might give us Dragonite because Dragonite is a popular Pokemon.
True.
And then we know Altaria and Blaziken are there.
I
Uh,
hope for Hawlucha. Mega Hawlucha would be sick as an
yeah, but I
EX.
reckon they might do a mini Carlos Megas thing as a set on its own. So I think the main Megas will be all the Gen 1 Megas just to get people back into the game.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
But I mean, it would be good. I feel like it's a good idea to include some of the new megas that they've released as well to get hype for Pocket and for ZA. Um, like people that play Pocket might not play some of the mainline games. Maybe they'll be like, I want to try out Hawlucha in an actual Pokemon game.
Yeah. No.
Uh,
Yeah.
and one of the reasons I also want to see Hawlucha as a mega in Pocket is because a single evolution fighting type mega would just be so good for the fighting in general in the game. Like I would probably just run like 2 mega Hawluchas and Rampardos or something.
Yeah, but then if your Mega Hawlucha gets knocked out, that's game over.
Oh yeah, no, I forgot about that. So maybe I wouldn't do that. Maybe it would just be 2 mega 18 trainer mega Hawlucha.
Could you imagine AT&T Mega Haul? I think that's how
in
people are
fact,
gonna run
in fact,
Megas.
it would be 19T because you don't run 2 because if it gets knocked out, there's no point of having another one.
No, but you need the second one, like, Lyra it out of there to stop damage.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, we'll see what they come up with.
Well, yeah, very excited for Set B. Hopefully, the next set we get before that would be something interesting too. So, yeah, it's been fun talking to you today, Arcena. I hope everyone listening has a podcast. We'll be back next week with, fingers crossed, a trailer. Leave a like, drop a comment if you've got all the way this far. And maybe check out some previous episodes of the Chai Tea podcast. We'd really appreciate it. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week.
Bye!